just in. If you've ever been the only woman in the room or the only small business owner at a big brand conference, this one's for you. The Women Creating Wealth Entrepreneurship 2025 Summit is landing in Sandton from 13 to 15 October. I've been invited to attend and I'll be watching closely because this isn't just another event with awkward name tags. According to the Grosser Michelle Trust, this year's summit is part birthday celebration, part movement building, and part economic revolution. Yes, there will be panels and programs, but there's also a real sense of urgency, a call to stop admiring the problem and start solving it. Because while inequality grows and uncertainty deepens, thousands of women across Africa are busy building businesses anyway, with or without investor decks. This summit shines a light on them. It's not about finding unicorns. It's about funding the women already carrying their communities on their backs. Here's why this summit matters, even if you're not attending. Let's be honest, most small business owners are too busy keeping the lights on to attend multi-day events. But this one is worth watching even from afar. And here's why. The women driving this movement aren't waiting for policy to catch up. They're working with what they have. Limited capital, fragmented support systems, and decades of inherited barriers. And they're still growing businesses that create jobs, feed families, and spark local change. The Grosser Michelle Trust's Women Creating Wealth program has already supported over 5,000 women entrepreneurs across 7 African countries. The next goal, 10,000 entrepreneurs, $1 billion in revenue, and 200,000 new jobs. By 2030, that ambition scales to 50,000 women-led businesses across 14 countries. This summit is the checkpoint, a place to ask what's working, what's not, and who's coming with. Here are some barriers worth naming so we can break them. The usual suspects show up in every region. Confidence gaps and unpaid care work that eat up women's time. A $42 billion gender financing gap across the continent. Policies that weren't built for women's realities. Limited access to markets, procurement, or even basic tech. The persistent myth that small women-led businesses can't scale. If you run a business and feel stuck, it's probably not just you. It's the system. The good news, systems can be redesigned, especially when you put 5,000 women entrepreneurs in a room with investors, buyers, and policy people who are ready to listen. But here's what makes this different. What sets the summit apart isn't the glossy program, it's the tone. It's grounded, focused on modest but meaningful shifts, and there are no promises of miracle funding or fairy godmother mentorships. Just practical tools, direct connections, and honest conversations. This year adds some special weights too. It marks the 15-year anniversary of the Grosser Michelle Trust and the 80th birthday of Mama Michelle herself. But the spotlight isn't on her, it's on the network of women she's helped grow. Leaders who know that wealth is about more than income. It's about impact. So here's what small businesses can learn from this. Even if you're outside the summit, the takeaways are clear. Community matters. Collective action beats solo hustle. Messaging matters. If your story isn't clear, your pitch will flop. Small shifts create momentum. You don't need massive capital to start building. Policy isn't out of reach. And local voices can influence real change. You can also invest in leadership at every age. The summit includes youth hosts and storytelling walls for a reason. The next generation is already here. If you're a woman-led business fighting for your corner, know this. The energy building in Sandton is coming your way. And your story is part of the bigger picture. I'll be there in person, taking notes, connecting dots, and cheering from the back row. But if you can't make it, don't worry. You can still take the first step towards stronger messaging with my 5-minute marketing fix. You can download it in the description below or go to strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix. Because getting your message right shouldn't require a PR team or $1 million budget. It just takes one sentence that connects. But what about you? What's one barrier you've had to overcome that most people don't see? I'll go first. When I first started doing videos, I didn't think I had the charisma for it. It felt awkward and I cringed watching my early attempts. But I kept promising myself I'd get better with practice. Now I bang out daily recordings in one take. Okay, your turn. What barrier have you had to overcome? Let me know in the comments. I'm Vicky Sidler from the Strategic Marketing Tribe, and I post helpful news updates for small businesses every day.